Good morning, Year 9, and welcome to your lesson today, the 19th of May. I hope you're all okay, and I hope that you are managing all right. Resilience is a word we talk about an awful lot. We talk about it in school, the ability to keep going when you find things difficult. Resilience is something that you're all practicing a huge amount at the moment, trying to manage this very strange world we're living in. And you're going to need some resilience for today's lesson, because our lesson today isn't going to focus on tenses, you'll be delighted to know. It's not going to focus on grammar a great deal, it's going to focus on reading skills. Now I am going to chuck in a listening exercise at the start, so you have to listen to a track that's attached to Show My Homework, and there are two parts to it. Firstly, decide which country each person goes to, and secondly, you need to work out whether or not their opinion of their trip was positive or negative. But after that, it moves on to reading skills. And you need that resilience because we're looking at longer texts today. You will find in the GCSE exams that there are some longer texts and you need to be able to pick out information from it. And that's what you're going to practice. In fact, I'm giving you a GCSE question at the very start of today's lesson. Now, clues in the name. It's a GCSE question. You are not GCSE students, so I'm only showing it to you so that you can see that this is relevant and you can see where you're going in a couple of years' time. But you're not there yet. I fully expect you to find that GCSE question really difficult. It's okay. It's okay if you find it impossible and can't get the answers, as long as you try your best. Okay, it's absolutely fine. The point being, I want to show you why we're doing it. There's also a foundation tier GCSE question at the end to see if you can see any development in your understanding of long text and how you approach it over the course of the lesson. Now, these videos are always important, but I'm actually going to talk you through some of the skills you need over the next minute or so. So it's really important that you stick at it and watch this. When you have a longer reading text, you need to use those reading strategies, CCCG, cognates, context, common sense, guess, because you can't just grapple with a huge reading text and think you'll be okay with it. You need to try and break it down so that you can try to understand what it is that it is saying. So, when you come across a long text, first of all, start with the question. You don't need to understand the whole text. You only need to understand the key bits of it. It's about trying to get a handle on it, trying to work out how you can start to get to grips with what it might be saying. So first of all, cognates. Are there any cognates in there? Scan through the text for key words. If you're asked about what time something happened, you're looking for alas, which means at. If you're looking for when someone went on Wednesday, you're looking for miércoles, which is going to be the key word that gives you that. So you're looking for keywords or signposts that are going to point you to the answer. It's very easy to look at a longer text and think, I can't cope with this, it's too much. Yeah, it probably is, if you have to translate it all. But actually, translations in the exam are the only things where you need to understand every word. For all the other parts of it, you don't need to understand every word. So for example, a question saying, who did they go to the museum with? You're actually only looking for the key word of museum. If you can find museo, then you can start to look around it and start to try and work out who it is they went with. If it says, well, on Wednesday it was very hot and sunny and we enjoyed the sunshine because it gave us a chance to get out and about, yep, that's lovely, but no one cares if you can understand that. The question is, who did they go to the museum with? So you've got to be quite analytical and focus on that. You've also got to be resilient. You've got to take a deep breath and say, okay, there'll be bits here I don't understand, but that's okay, because all I need to try and do is pick out that single piece of information. I said you're having a listening as well. That listening is going to require those same skills. When you're trying to work out if each person had a positive or negative experience on the trip, well, you're going to be listening for gist. You're going to be getting the general idea. But you can also use the third C, which is common sense. In a listening and a reading, are there pictures that can inform your views? Is there a tone of voice in the listening that helps you work out if they are generally positive or generally negative? I will be available for email contact throughout the lesson, so drop me an email if you have any questions or concerns. Stick at it. You can do this. I know each and every one of you in the class, and this is something you can all manage. That's why I've said it for you. So please stick at it. And finally, it's not a race. So work through it at your own pace. For those of you involved in Hazelwick Yellow last night, particularly someone with the username Gato Chico, you'll be pleased to know it's not a race. So take your time, work your way through it, and give it your very best shot. And I will see you again in a week's time after half term next week. So really, really well done as a final message. Well done for this last 5 weeks. It's been a strange half term. You've managed it really, really well. The work you've sent in, I've been very, very impressed by. So keep it up. Have a good week off next week, and I will look forward to seeing you again in a video after half term. Take care.